now to a bracket, change this to a bracket because we're going to substitute 4 numbers. Okay. We already know that M come in there, isn't that so? 1.12. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what we need to do now is to find the sum of y and the sum of x. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, now, the sum of y and the sum of x and n, we can go up there and retrieve those numbers. You can see a lot of numbers there. So can you please identify which one is the sum of y, which one is the sum of x, and which one is n?
So y is 515.
Y is 515. Okay. Y is 515. Y alone? There are how many y's you see there? Y is not 515. I have a right. I can tell you that y is not 515. Anybody or yourself can say, but why is he saying that? Why is he saying y is not 515?
So the
because
sum.
the sum of y.
The sum of y is 515. Okay, the sum of y. There are how many y's are there?
7.
7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And actually, that is the value of what? What letter? That 7 is the value of what?
N.
And n comes here. Okay? 7 is n. 7 pairs. You ask 7 persons how long you studied for, what was your course? What was your score? You go to another friend, how long you studied for, what was your score? You interviewed 7 persons and you collected 2 data from 2 variables from each of the persons you interviewed. Because you want to measure correlation. Does study hours really affect score? And by how much? Missing one more number, what is it?
So the sum of x is 181.
The sum of x, here it is 181. The sum of y, 515. And the sum of x is 181. And n now is 7. All right? Okay. So we can easily continue for calculations. That 7 can stay below there still. What's the numerator? As is, you can put it in your calculator, see what you get. Anybody? 515 minus 112 divided times 181.
So 312 to
312.28.
8.
And when you divide, I think it's 44 point somebody, 61, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I went over that in the class of yesterday, but I say, well, I'll just go over it again with you all because we'll just conclude assignment B in terms of presentation. That's why we said we'll have the test on Monday. So we have not turned our backs on assignment B in terms of presentation. So next week is test and revision. So we'll have Wednesday and Thursday to revise assignment B. Any, finishing touches that you need, clarification for. Right, let's continue. So therefore now, right, so that is actually the solution. Not yet, because it's here, write it in the form S is equal to mx plus c. So we can say therefore, all right, and we can come here. If you want, you can even centralize this. All right, and then you can come here, centralize that. And we know, we are familiar with y is equal to mx plus c. All right, y is equal to mx plus c. Very popular form of a linear equation, but we know what is m. Now the two variables will always be there. M is a number, c is a number. Because c to be 44.61. But the question says write it in this form because y and x are general letters. They could mean anything. But in our particular example, y means score. Score is the dependent variable, so we can use letter S. And x is the independent. Here it is hours of study. Okay, so here we have a formula to further analyze the relationship between hours of study and score. Okay, so let's go to part E. No, part F, sorry. It says use the equation to estimate the score for 17 hours of study per week. Okay, so what if you study for 17 hours? What will be the score? So that is the purpose of the equation. You can use the equation to predict, to project, to forecast, to anticipate. And that's what happening every day, right? This is a very, very important topic inside. Well, all the topics are important, but this one is, you can appreciate its applicability in economics. The stock market, what's going to happen tomorrow, the end of the year. So the whole idea is to use current data and then use it, make models with it, make equations, formulas, and use these formulas now to project, to anticipate. All right, that's happening every day. Okay, and that's just a simple example, hours and score. All right, but the two variables could mean anything. So therefore now, our solution for this example, and that's what you do for the assignment question. Okay, you have your equation already. You can write your therefore. See, right. Therefore, okay, we know that S is equal to 1.12 each plus 44.61. Oh, by the way, okay, here we want to estimate what would be the score if you study for 17 hours. Just by looking at the equation, what if you don't study at all? What is your expected score if you do not study? Anybody? If you do not study, here H is equal to, for the question, H is equal to 17. But what if you do not study? What if H is equal to 0? What do you expect to get based on that formula?
44.61.
44.61, the y-intercept. When x is equal to 0, this is the y-intercept. So if you don't study according to this information, you're in that environment and you don't study at all, you expect a 44 based on the formula, okay? Because another person will do the research and you'll have a different set of numbers, and that's what's going to happen to you all. You all have the same topic, but same questions, but different persons you all are going to interview, so you'll be coming to slightly different conclusions. So according to this formula, if you don't study, you get 44.61. If you study for 17, we substitute 17 in place of H. And then voila, we estimate the score for 17 hours of study according to this formula. So please help me out. What is the expected score according to this formula if you study for 17 hours? Anybody?
So 63.65.
63.65%. Okay. So we can see a hence, we can see a thus, we can see a therefore. We use therefore already, so let's use a different one. Hence, according to this model, that's another word for formula, if a student studies for 17 hours, they expect to achieve a score approximately, because when you see coming to final conclusions, you have to speak in terms of approximately 64%. Okay, when you making your final deductions, conclusions,